That's the right one. And there we go. And I'm going to talk this evening about some more common mistakes that people make in bridge. And if you're watching this video afterwards on YouTube and you wish to join these lessons, you can send me an email to that address on the screen, and I'll send you a link to join these sessions. So, as you have often heard, probably more mistakes are made in defense than in any other aspect of bridge. And playing online especially, it's very useful for me and hopefully for you too to see how cards are actually played, because you can replay them and look at exactly what people played. So let's have a look at this one. And we're going to start with a hole here. And the bidding has started off 1 spade, 2 hearts, 2 no trump, pass, 3 no trump. So you're on lead here. And the first poll of the evening is, what do you think West should lead? So have a think about it. And here comes the first poll. What do you think West should lead? Look at the results. And most of you have gone for the King of Clubs, with 28% voting for a heart. And I think those of you who've chosen a heart are correct. There are a few reasons for leading a heart here rather than a club. If your partner had not made an overcall, yes, I would have led the King of Clubs. But your partner has made a 2-level overcall here, so they should have a decent suit. And despite South bidding 2 no trump, which should indicate that they have a stopper in hearts, you should lead a heart here. One other reason for not leading a club is that outside of the club suit, you have no high cards, you have no entries. So assuming declarer has the ace of clubs, you probably won't get in again to lead the clubs later on. And then the second good reason to lead a heart is that your partner bid them, and it will make your partner happy. Even if it turns out that a heart lead is not such a great lead, your partner will understand that you were doing your best to try and lead your suit. Whereas leading a club here is not your partner's suit, and if it works out that that is a poor choice, then your partner won't be as forgiving. So yes, I think you should lead a heart. And let's suppose your partner overtakes that with a 9, plays the king back, and then keeps playing hearts until the ace of hearts comes out. And now, declarer, if we just bring up the 4 hands, you'll see declarer will probably try the spade finesse at some point. And when he does, your partner gets in with the king of spades and can cash 2 more hearts to defeat the contract. So if you had led a club on this hand, let's replay it, seeing what happens if you did lead the king of clubs. Well, as long as declarer ducks at least once, then when declarer now plays the spades and your partner gets in with a king, they won't be able to lead a club back to your good clubs, and you won't defeat the contract. They'll may switch to their own suit, but now declarer has got time to play the spades and will make, let's see, at least 10 tricks, 11 tricks out, 10 tricks there they'll make if you don't lead your partner's suit. So if your partner has overcalled, especially, even more so than if they bid a suit, like an opening bid, you should be thinking of leading their suit unless you have something clearer, better to do. Unless you have something that's obviously better to do than leading their suit, you should lead your partner's suit. Let's have a look at a similar problem. This time, your partner leads a 7 of spades against 3 no trump, and you win the first trick with your queen. You play the queen of spades, so that wins the trick. And I've got the second poll for you. Now you're east. You've just won the second trick with the queen of spades. What suit should you play at trick 2? The results. And most of you have gone for a club with 29% going for a spade. And let's see what we think. Well, yes, we clearly have a nice club suit here, but you should be thinking about the spade suit here. Your partner's led the seven of spades. That's presumably their fourth highest spade. And they should have at least one honor, presumably the king, maybe another honor in that suit. So your priority should be to return your partner's suit. Don't lead your own suit. Obviously, if you were very lucky, you would be able to take a lot of club tricks, but much better is to continue with your partner's suit. Once again, if you play the clubs, even if you are able to force out declarer's honors in that suit and set up club tricks, it's very unlikely that you'll gain the lead again in order to play the clubs, because your club suit is very weak. So once again, in the interest of keeping your partner happy, and because it's also often the right thing to do, you should continue with spades. Let's bring up the four hands and just look at a possible layout here. If we continue with the spade here, your partner will overtake there. At some point, declarer will take their ace, but they can't make the tricks without trying diamonds. And then when your partner gets in with the king of diamonds, they will be able to cash their spade tricks and defeat the contract, take at least 5 tricks there. If on this same layout, if you take your queen of spades and switch to a club, declarer now has time to play the diamonds, and he's still got a stopper in spades, so now he will make the contract. So it was a mistake there, really, to switch to your own suit. Your partner's led a suit, you've won the trick, and very often it's right to continue your partner's suit. Again, lead back your partner's suit unless you have something clearly better to do. Let's try this one. I've changed the hand slightly here. And again, your partner leads a 7 of spades, and you play the queen, and that wins the trick. And I've got the next poll for you here. What should you play now? You've just won the first trick with the queen of spades. Should you carry on with spades, or should you lead another suit? If so, which suit? Look at the results. And this time, most of you have gone for a club, with 23% continuing to play spades. And let's just have a think about this. Normally, your first instinct should be to continue with spades here. But this time, I do think I have something better to do. And that is to switch to the king of clubs. Why is that? Well, this time I've got the king of diamonds, which is going to be an entry to my hand. So I'm virtually certain that even as I expect, declarer's got the ace of clubs. If I play the king of clubs now, I can force out the ace and establish the clubs. So yes, this is one of the times when, instead of continuing your partner suit, which is what you should normally do, you should switch to the king of clubs, because that is better. You can see that you'll be able to set up the clubs if you now play the king of clubs. So yes, if I bring up the 4 hands, I see I can play the king of clubs. I'll now play the queen of clubs. And if declarer doesn't take their ace, I'll just play another club. And declarer cannot make this contract without playing diamonds. And when he does, I'll get him with my king of diamonds, and I'll be able to cash 2 clubs to make 6 tricks and hold declarer to 7 tricks. If you look at the hand, you can see this hand, although your partner made a reasonable lead of a spade there, the 4th highest spade, if you plug away with spades, then if declarer holds up twice in with the ace, doesn't take it, then when even after you gain the lead with the king of diamonds, you won't have any spades left. So here it was a good idea to switch to your own suit, but only do that if you think that is clearly something better to do. Let's switch to this one, and here it's gone 2 no trump, 3 no trump, and your partner leads the 5 of spades. Declarer calls for the 2 from dummy, and I've got a very simple question here. What should East play, the king, the jack, or the 8? So most of you have gone for the king, but over a third played the jack, and one person played the 8. And sorry, let's switch back. And this is a very easy question. And the correct card to play is the king. It is a bad mistake to play the jack here. The only time it will be right to play the jack is if the queen were in dummy, but there is no honor in dummy. So the correct card to play is third hand high. And those third of you who chose the jack really ought to study this again. Actually, when this hand was played, a number of declarers made 3 no trump, and it was probably because East played the jack. No, the right card to play is the king. And when that wins the trick, the second thing you have to get right is to play the jack now, play high from 2 remaining. If I click on the GIB button, it will tell me the only way to defeat this contract is to play the jack now. If I made the mistake of playing the 8 of spades or any other card, then declarer can, my partner can beat the queen with the ace, but I'm left winning the 3rd spade with the jack and blocking the suit. So you first of all have to play third hand high and then play high from 2 remaining. So really that should be almost automatic for you to not play the jack there. That's a poor choice. Let's try another one. And here you opened 1 heart, south overcalled a spade, and north bid 4 spades. And we're going to have some defense problems in this hand. My partner starts off leading my suit. That's what I expected, and I'm very pleased to see that. So I overtake the first one. It could be a singleton, perhaps. I'd win the first one with the queen. I cash the ace. So far, so good. Let's suppose I play the king, and my partner discards, and I've made the first 3 tricks here. So that's good news. This is actually a hand as it was actually played. And I've got a question for you now as East. What do you think you should play now? You've just won the first 3 tricks. Which suit do you think East should lead now? Look. So 46% of you chose a spade here, and a number of others went for a club, a diamond, or a heart. Sorry, let's go back to it. Yeah. Well, let's go through the options. If you're counting the hearts, you'll know at this point that's all the hearts gone. Neither north or south have any more hearts here. So leading another heart is dangerous because it will give declarer a chance to discard a loser from one hand while they ruff in the other. And so if we don't lead a heart, then let's look about leading a diamond. I mean, leading a diamond, can you see that's a terrible, terrible lead because you're leading into the ace queen in dummy. You're hoping to make a trick with your king of diamonds, but you won't make a trick in diamonds if you lead that suit. And clubs is not much better. You have hopes to make a trick with your queen of clubs here. And if you lead any club, the queen or a low club, you're just helping declare. They'll probably make the trick with the jack, and then you won't make any club tricks there. So by far the best choice here is, yes, a definite choice. My choice would be a trump. It's something that doesn't help declarer. You've made 3 tricks now, and you need to try to make a trick with one of your minor suit honors there. So by far the safest thing to do is to lead a trump here. And that's actually what this defender did. They did well at this point. They switched to a trump. Declarer now drew the last trump, and then this declarer led the led the jack of clubs. And what should East play at this point? So North has just drawn trumps, led the jack of clubs. And what should you as East play at trick 6? Here's the next poll. Let's have a look at the results. And 64% have gone for the queen, with the rest of you playing a low card. And yes, sorry, let's go back to the right hand. And yes, the right thing to do there is to cover an honor with an honor. If I bring up, you cover an honor with an honor here because it might promote a trick for your side. And if I bring up the 4 hands, you can see that declarer has really not played this, the club suit correctly, because the correct way to play the clubs will be to lead towards the jack of clubs. But here, East failed to cover the jack with the queen, and declarer therefore made all 3 club tricks. If I click on the GIB button, you can see that declarer should be defeated here, but will be defeated by 1 more trick if you cover. So you cover an honor with an honor because it may promote a trick for your side. This particular East didn't do that, so the jack won the trick, and now you can see that declarer isn't going to lose any club tricks. They're still going to lose a diamond at some point, but you would have made 1 more trick if you had covered. So that's an important mistake I often see: failure to cover an honor with an honor if it might promote a trick for your side. And let's have a look at this one. And this was the one I sent out at the weekend in the quiz. And you're West. You start with 16 points. South opens a weak no trump, 12 to 14, and you double. And let's suppose you start off by cashing your spade. You take 4 spade tricks, and then you play a diamond, and declarer wins that. And declarer now leads the jack of clubs. And you have the decision about whether to play your king or not. And it looks, beginners sort of never want to play their king in this situation, but there is a chance that playing the king will promote a trick for your side. So if we bring up the 4 hands, if you make the mistake of playing a low club, then your declarer will win the jack, play another club, finesse again, and then play the ace and the queen of clubs. And played that way, he will make the contract. He's got 7 tricks there. He won't make any more. But if you cover the honor with an honor, so again, let's play it as before. But if you cover the honor with the honor, if you cover the jack with the king, it may promote a trick for your side if your partner has got the 9 like this. So here, by covering, it prevents declarer making a 4th club trick, and they may well be defeated now. They certainly won't make that last club. So cover an honor with an honor if it might help promote a trick for your side. Let's change the hand slightly. This is almost the same hand, but this time again you lead the ace, king, queen, Jack of spades. Again, you play the Queen of diamonds, which loses to the ace. And again, declarer leads the Jack of clubs. And I've got the next poll for you. What should West play? Are you going to play the king, or are you going to play a low club? Have a look at your results. And this time, most of you, 78%, have decided to play low, with only 22% playing the king. And sorry, this is it. And yes, this time you are right not to play the king. There is no merit playing the king here, because you can see the ace queen 10-9 in dummy and the jack's been played. So if you play the king, it will force out the ace, but then the queen 10-9 are all high. So you will not have achieved anything if you cover an honor with an honor in this situation. So you should only cover an honor with an honor if it might promote a trick for your side. And because it cannot promote a trick for your side here, you should play low. And in fact, if I bring up the four hands, if the layout is something like this, if you play low, declarer can win that one, of course, finesse again, but they won't be able to finesse a third time because they have no more clubs. So you will hold declarer to just 3 club tricks there, whereas if you covered, declarer would make all 4 club tricks. Now declarer is likely to be defeated, making just 2 more tricks, and then at the end we'll probably lose the rest. Although the way I play, the way declarer played it, it was actually possible to make a 7th trick. If I just rewind it, declarer actually ended up making a trick with a 10 of hearts as well there. But you should not be covering in this situation, because it gives declarer a 4th club trick. And if you don't cover, there's a chance they might only make 3 club tricks. Do let me know if you have any questions about those. These are not easy. And let's just finally end with this one. Here it's gone 1 heart, 3 hearts, and then 4 hearts. And you're on lead, and you decide to lead the king of spades, and declarer takes the ace, and now starts playing hearts. He plays a heart, and you win the king of hearts here. Maybe he was trying finesse, so you won that one. And you now switch back to spades, trying to take some spade tricks here. Declarer ruffs that one, and now he finishes drawing trumps, and then he plays a club. Well, I hope you're going to play low here. He takes the ace of clubs and then plays a club back to the jack, and you win your queen, and that's 8 tricks gone. And the last question for you now is, what do you think West should play now? Which suit do you think West should lead now? A spade, a diamond, or a club? Look at the results. And 52% have gone for a club, with 26 going for a spade and 22 going for a diamond. And let's have a little think about this. Well, you've made 3 tricks here, and if you're paying attention, declarer has already ruffed a spade here. So leading a spade here is quite dangerous, because it gives declarer a chance to discard in one hand while they ruff in the other, and gives them a chance to make a trick they could never otherwise make. Leading a diamond, leading away from your queen of diamonds here, is also quite dangerous at this point. It's very likely that declarer's got the missing honors in diamonds. So I think by far the safest lead is to play a club back here. So, in other words, you can see that Declarer was finessing in clubs, and the only play here that will defeat the contract is a passive lead of a club here. If you play a spade, you can see Declarer still got trumps in both hands, can make a discard while they ruff. And if you lead a diamond, Declarer makes all three diamond tricks. So yes, in that situation, you should avoid leading something that will lead to a ruff or discard. And what this particular Declarer defender did was lead a spade, and now Declarer was able to ruff with the 9 of hearts while they discard the Jack of diamonds, and then they can claim the rest of the tricks. So those were some of the common defense mistakes that we looked at just now. There are a number, but the ones we covered today were third hand low instead of playing third hand high, not leading your partner's suit when they've made a bid, not returning your partner's suit when they've led a suit and you've won it, not covering an honor with an honor. That's one of the most common mistakes I see. Leading into honors in dummy and giving away a ruff and discard. So those are all the mistakes you should try and avoid, and hopefully your defense will get better if you can avoid those mistakes. Anyone have any questions on any of that? I'll stop the video there, and we've got the game starting in 10 minutes or so. So if you would like a partner, you can just join the game and call me over. Or if you see someone here.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
On the last hand,
Yes.
you've got Queen to 3. Why don't you hope that your partner has an honor in diamonds?
Right. So this one.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they could have one. And if they've got the king or the jack, then it will be safe. On the other hand, you know, they've bid to 4 hearts, and you've already made 3 tricks here. So your partner probably doesn't have much there. So it's much safer to lead a club here. It's much less likely, once you've won the Queen of Clubs, to return a club, because you have hope to make a trick with your Queen of Diamonds. If the layout is something like this.
But you want it to come to you rather than, yeah.
Yes. So
okay.
I think the club lead is definitely one you should choose.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. If